Hi everyone, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. How are we all today, wherever you are in the world when you're watching? Huge shout out to you. Okay, so I'm going to be pulling a couple of cards to start the week, to see what's likely to come forward for us, and I'll be using the Rose Oracle and then my Black and Gold Tarot. To drill down. So we will be looking at the January 6th committee hearing. So we've got a hearing on Tuesday, the 12th of July, and this will look at the links between Trump and extremist groups, including new evidence, the documentary footage from British filmmaker Alex Holder. Now, I saw a long time ago a film which would be important. I know that it's airing on Netflix, but you know, the fact that the January 6th committee is able to use that, it'll be interesting to see what they bring forward. Now, Trump and the extremist groups, we've also heard this week that Steve Bannon, that I'm just going to say foul-mouthed, mega-mouthed, fascist person that nobody would have heard of. Nobody would have even looked at him prior to Trump. He was editor of a very far right-winged, on the fringes publication, Breitbart, and he rose to, unfortunately, prominence under the TV B-grade type of person that became president. And of course, anyone who lives in New York knew Trump before he became president. I think we all did, actually. I still am shocked that he got to be the president. And I think that will be, even though he didn't win the popular vote, he's raised all of these issues, from the Electoral College to how somebody could actually do the unthinkable and attempt a coup. All right, let's get started. We'll look at that, and then I just want to tune into Vladimir Putin for a minute. Not that I like tuning into him, but it's time we did a checkup on him. He's started bombing civilian areas again in Kharkiv, which is Ukraine's second largest city. I mean, it just goes on and on. How much more? When does he just, stop? When does Russia fall to its knees and be held accountable? When do the trials start? All of these things. And no, Putin's not dead. I often get that question. All right, so let's take a look at the overarching energies. These poor Rose Oracle, so much strife here. All right, so let's see what you need to bring forward for my YouTube viewers. Thank you to those who commented. Thank you to those who sent in donations. Thank you. All right, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel grow. All right, so let's take a look at the overarching energies for this week. Very important week, I feel, in so many ways. Could be a bit like a catalyst kind of week here. So we have Sub Rosa hidden in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight. Mysteries, learning and teaching. I think that sums up the energies really, really nicely. Hidden in plain sight, January the 6th, 2021. Long time ago, isn't it? Look how long it's taken. Hidden in plain sight. What was hidden in plain sight? Plain sight. We could all see. Again, the things that I spoke about, Putin continuing to kill people, murder people, hidden in plain sight. What does that say? So the Great Mother, surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. I do get a big pull this week to really going with the flow, to accepting, to moving forward, understanding that, we can't change that old saying. We can't change the world, but we can change ourselves. We can't influence those global events or global situations that we don't like. But we can change ourselves. And I think there's an acknowledgement of what is hidden in plain sight here. and acknowledging that, not making excuses for it, not fighting back. There's no real need for us to live in worry and fear, but understanding and having faith in the universe, in your God, that things will evolve for our highest good. Protection, boundaries, and clear communication. This came up before when I was using these cards. So there's a real message here. Just put your boundaries up and be clear in your communication. You don't have to take a backward step. There is real firmness, as I said, in this yin type energy. When we do flow, we do step into the flow, but we do have that firmness, and we are clear and honest and open in our communication. Let's face it, when we come into contact with those politicians, those rare politicians who are clear and honest in their communication, this is what we're looking for. This is what we want. Okay, so the crowning, initiation, thresholds, birth and rebirth, a seat at the table. We all get that seat at the table. No one's locked out. And the where you sit, or if you even come to the table, is entirely your choice. So it's all about choices. Okay, now let's go to the January 12th hearing. One of the pivotal moments in Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony was around Trump wanting the metal detectors turned off so people could come with guns. We had also the extremist groups touring the White House before January the 6th. Remember that? They just said they were visiting. These groups that have been outlawed as domestic terrorists were just visiting the White House. And we had Trump all through his presidency use the symbol of white supremacy, call out to the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers continually. But will there be proof this week of Trump's ties to extremist groups? We're looking for evidence. Ties and evidence that Trump... Get me Roger Stone and Flynn. I'm not even going to call him General Flynn. He received a pardon for being a foreign agent, which means that was proven. Perjury. He perjured, lying, takes the fifth all the time. All right, get me Stone and Flynn. Ace of Pentacles. All right, so let's take a look. Will there be proof? Will there be evidence heard this week in January 6th that ties Trump very, 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 very strongly to extremist groups and what they did in storming the Capitol? Will there be these links? King of Swords. That's a good card. That's the truth. The King of Swords wields that sword. Not even Trump can escape that sword. So we've got the truth. We've got the prosecutor here as the overarching card. We have justice now. These are pretty good cards. What are we waiting for now? The penny to drop, the evidence to drop that he was tied to these extremist groups, the evidence. Justice and the King of Swords, they have it. The DOJ has it as well. Now, whether that's through the Oath Keepers or the Proud Boys flipping, they have the direct tie to Trump already. The Magician. These are all yes cards, by the way. These are also very karmic cards. Manifestation. Manifestation could be, the Magician could be raised so many ways, from manipulation, what was he manifesting, the manifesto, through to what we're manifesting right at the moment. What are we manifesting? Truth and justice. So in the past, we've got Seven of Pentacles. Someone flipped. Someone in all of those Oath Keepers, Proud Boys, thought, I need another plan, because this plan isn't working well for me. We have death here, the ending in the sky. We all know that, don't we? We all feel much more confident. Death, the end of something. So he had knowledge that the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers were going to try and end something, end the certification of the election. But I'll go one step further. That's the proof we'll hear this week, but I'm going to go one step further and say I think he knew about the pipe bomber. This reading is for entertainment purposes only. We have here the insurrection, the fight. He knew they were there to cause mayhem, to stop that certification. Now we have in the here and now the Four of Wands, reunification, so much positivity at this time, and we've got the environment around is retreat of this energy here. It's like expunging it in a way, and we see that every day, don't we? But where do we put our focus on? And there's, as I said, a real overarching message here about fear and not allowing fear to take over. Now we have here in the hopes and fears something that came to fruition in time, which may suggest that he knew of this before it happened. The outcome card is the devil, chained, toxicity, the devil. And moving through that devil energy, look at these cards in relation to this question. And these have a bigger picture implication as well. The end of Trump is the bigger picture, the end of his strength and moving on after post-Trump. So there is some pretty strong information coming out here that he knew what the Proud Boys and the extremist groups were going to do, which was storm the Capitol. He knew that beforehand. Now, the Page of Pentacles, that's a young person, and the Four of Pentacles. So somebody has flipped on who the King of Pentacles. Somebody has told the truth around the tower, the storming of the Capitol. These are pretty strong cards. These are pretty strong cards to say that somebody has flipped and has tied Trump to those extremist groups. Now, Bannon, I don't know, why the media think it's such a good thing that Bannon has a letter from Trump waiving executive privilege, yada, yada, yada. It really is BS. Some people have called Bannon a Trojan horse. I agree with that. Like, if you think that he's going to do anyone favours, no. Trump is doing this to keep him out of jail and also get this big foul-mouthed person who had received a pardon for fraud on the TV news to get headlines. So, will Bannon testify? Will Bannon testify? Yeah, okay. So the Ace of Pentacles would say he probably will. We've got the High Priestess here, something coming forward that we don't know about. The Queen of Pentacles, stability. She always comes up. What's going on here? The Three, so we've got the Three of Pentacles in the past. Dark, this is kind of like dark money, things happening behind the scenes. I'm just getting a pull again to the DOJ. Yeah, the Hierophant in the sky. They're not going to be able to hijack the headlines. I feel the DOJ already has stuff on Bannon. Is he... Oh, this could be also being tried in under state law for that fraud pardon he received. The Fool card in the near future. So I think he is going to testify, but if he, not now, I don't think it's right now. He's trying to stay out of jail as well. He's got information, write me this letter, or I might sing. But I just see the DOJ's involvement here. This is reflection. He's reflecting now. He doesn't want to go to jail for all his big-mouthed, loud-mouthed stuff. He is actually understanding. He's going to testify. Will he do... yeah, he's going to bring forward some sort of truth And we've got the Hermit, isolation. He knows. So he knows, control. The Emperor card, wanting to get the headlines here. Bannon being the faithful servant. Trump is giving him something in relation to his testimony. It is an abuse of power. So that's the underlying energy. But it's not going to go quite the way Trump thinks. Either the DOJ or the January 6th committee are prepared for this. If he testifies, it's not going to go the way that Trump and even Bannon wants. So he could. Yeah, I see that state matter as well. He's in a world of trouble, and this isn't going to get him out of it because Trump is no longer in power. So Bannon could be playing both ends against the middle as well. All right. If they think that they're going to bring in a Trojan horse, they're already prepared for that. The January 6th committee are already prepared for that. And I've always thought they are talking continually with the DOJ. We just don't hear about it. They are cooperating and vice versa. Right, now let's go to our the most detested. Well, I can't even have words for Vladimir Putin. So many young Ukrainians killed. He's so succeeded in uniting Europe and uniting the Baltic countries. By the way, thank you for those people validating my Boris Johnson reading. I read he would go that day. Later on after my reading, he went. I'll take another look at who might succeed him in another reading for the UK. All right, and where to now? Already there's calls to modify, soften, even go back into the EU, or at least join the trading bloc of EU like Norway has. I think that's where it's going to come out. There's total review of Brexit and everything it's caused. All right, so I've also picked up that Boris wouldn't go easily, and he's staying on to October. My intuition, watch this space. He's capable of further abuses of power in some way. So, all right. I hear he's lobbying against certain. Does he not want the Tory party to be able to elect a leader? That, he's just working in the background continually, even though he's announced his resignation. All right, let's move to Putin. I want to see, are those sanctions? The German Chancellor thinks those sanctions are cutting Putin. Putin, when I look at him, his energy is very, 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 very. He is sort of on his knees in a way, but he's not quite gone yet. Ukraine has had delivery of more weapons, better weapons. Putin's exhausting his weaponry supplies. His arsenal is weakened. It's a cost that we don't see. Things are not as good as what we think they are, or that he is portraying. Putin is in a no-win situation, but he won't give up. So let's take a look. Is Russia weakened by this invasion and sanctions? Certainly, people are moving on from doing any kind of business with them at all. People are sourcing oil and gas from other places. Is Russia weakened by the sanctions and the invasion? So we have here the Ace of Cups. Within Russia, people want a new start. There are very loud calls within Russia to get rid of Putin. There's an overflowing of emotions here. The Page of Swords, they feel that he's kind of betrayed them. And they feel it at a real emotional level where the other sanctions are biting. So it's like they feel he's not acting in Russia's interests. We have the Eight of Wands. Things moving very, very quickly with that Eight of Wands. So I think July we'll see breakthroughs. I've always felt July is a big month for the invasion and for what occurs in Russia. We see something moving very, very quickly. in the past we've got the Two of Pentacles, having to make difficult decisions. He's already doing that with the economy. And we have the Hermit, isolation. That really sums it up. In the sky, we have here not just the isolation of Putin, but the isolation of Russia, the pariah state. Now we have the Wheel of Fortune. Something's going to change in July. That's important. 10 of Swords. What could change? That's complete and utter ruination and downfall. That's happening now to Russia and to Putin. The environment around is people want to move on, move away. Russians aren't happy at all with Putin, even though we don't hear about it. If any Russians are listening, you'll get the minority of trolling on my channel. Can you believe it? They kind of say, oh, it's great that they bombed a civilian supermarket. Can you believe that the people would say that? Yeah, they do. And yeah, I ban them and block them, honestly. But that's their problem, isn't it? Not ours. Queen of Cups, something's going to be revealed to us in July, I feel, around this question, around the sanctions and Putin. We have here the Hanged Man pausing something, suspending. What's going to be suspended? Well, the question was, are the sanctions biting? It's like the oligarchy, it's like stopped because of this isolation, and we've got endings and beginnings. So Russia is most definitely, even though they wanted to wipe out Ukraine and Ukrainians, Russia is the one that is, the way that they, their life, their reputation, everything is gone. Russia is being remade. Europe is strengthened. The Baltic country unity has been strengthened. It's just all these things that Putin wanted to accomplish have failed. And within Russia, people are really calling for an overturning and for him to be removed from power, even though you won't hear about it. But the end of his wealth, the question is, yes, these sanctions are really, it's just stopped the economy. So we have here justice as well. We have the Knight of Swords, the truth emerging, justice occurring. We do still have the Seven of Cups, which is illusion and manifesting illusion. But we also have the Six of Swords and the Tower. So I think the Tower card for his presidency, I feel that we're getting closer and closer to Putin being removed from power in July. We hear something in July, whether it's to do with the sanctions or the invasion, something occurs in July that is very, very detrimental to Russia. Let's just quickly pull a couple of cards. What is this event in July? What is this event? Ten of Swords is there. Their economy is at a standstill. What occurs in July? What occurs? Can you show me, please, clearly what occurs in July? So we've got a torch here, some kind of exposure. I'm just seeing the torch lighting up someone's face. We learn a very, very something that we didn't know before. Something comes out that we didn't understand before. Okay, so what happens in July? What occurs in July? So we've got the Knight of Cups. So he could now start to move toward. We've got the Eastern Ukraine. I'm ready to do a deal. Ukraine has said, no, we are not doing that. And we've got the Hanged Man. Something is paused here in July. The Ten of Wands. Russia's arsenal is being weakened. Something coming out of left field. Okay, Russia could even propose some kind of ceasefire. The immediate future, death, the ending of something. Yeah, okay, so The Empress card, Russia is in the here and now, and the Queen of Wands is in the environment around. This is women here, and we have regret and loss in the hopes and fears, and the Ten of Swords. There's something's ending. Something is ending. The Three of Wands, foreign interests, and the Eight of Pentacles. So July, Ukraine gets an advantage in this war. Something huge is changing in July. I see a downfall. I ask for an indication. Is this Putin removed from power? I don't know. I'd like to hope so. What's this Ten of Swords? Complete and utter downfall. The Ace of Pentacles. No, the economy in Russia is in free fall now. It's worse than what we think. And we've got the American weapons are really going to make a difference. So here's what I think. It's critical in Russia at the moment. The economy, we hear that it is completely ruined in a way. There's some kind of really a major event with Russia's economy in July. And I think that Ukraine somehow gets the upper hand. And I think there are going to be murmurs of peace deals. But they're not going to be, it's not going to be what Ukraine is willing to accept. We've got Eastern Ukraine, so that's the end of the war. No. But there will be a narrative come out along those lines. We can only hope that Putin's removed from power with that Ten of Swords. We'll see. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and bye for now.